Okay, so let's dive right into this. You've probably seen it, right? You're scrolling online and you see these wild stories. People claiming they won the lottery, not with luck, but with the power of their mind. It sounds out there, I know, but these claims are literally everywhere. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of these wins and really explore this idea, how belief might actually shape our reality. I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? It feels like something straight out of science fiction. But you've got thousands of people all over the world who are absolutely adamant that not only is it possible, but they've actually done it. And they're not shy about it. They post these super detailed stories showing exactly how much they won. And look, we're not talking about winning a few bucks here and there. People are claiming life-changing amounts of money, like this one, over €1 million, claimed by an actress over in Vienna. Or this one, $500,000 somebody said they got after months of, practicing these techniques. And get this, a staggering 27 million rand in South Africa. This story came from someone who was recovering from a really serious accident. The numbers are just huge, and the stories behind them, they're incredibly compelling. This quote right here, let's really gets to the heart of the whole thing. The one thing that connects all these testimonials isn't just hoping or wishing. It's this deep, profound, almost weirdly calm sense of knowing. They talk about it like the win was already a fact before it ever happened. So how? How do they actually claim to do it? Well, when you start looking at hundreds of these stories, this fascinating pattern starts to pop out. It's like there's a shared formula, a kind of believer's blueprint that people follow. It's almost like they found a recipe for a miracle. So let's deconstruct. And what's amazing is how consistent this mental blueprint is. It doesn't matter if the story is from the US or India or Brazil, the core process is the same. It's all about aligning your inner world, your thoughts and feelings, with a result you want in the outer world. And it really boils down to these three key steps. First, they get laser focused on what they want, super clear. Second, they use specific, tangible rituals to keep that goal front and center. And third, and this is the big one, they live in a state of unwavering faith that it's already theirs. Let's dig into each of these. So step one is all about pinpoint focus. You can't just vaguely want to be rich. That's not how it works, according to these stories. They stress being incredibly precise. People describe wanting exactly €3 million to buy a specific house for artists, or exactly 27 million rand to clear their debts and buy a red Range Rover Sport. As this person says, being precise, that's the first key. Okay, so once that desire is crystal clear, they move to step two, the rituals. These are the tools they use to make it feel real. They create what one person literally called pin boards of magic, or, vision boards. They write themselves magic checks for the exact amount. They do daily visualizations. They keep gratitude journals. They say affirmations out loud. And they all talk about acting as if they've already won. Planning the celebration party, bookmarking the dream car online. Some even write their resignation letter. And all of that leads us to the most important step, faith. This quote from a guy in England named Andy B. is maybe one of the most mind-blowing examples. He just needed 20 pounds. But instead of just wishing for it, he visualized the exact note, right down to seeing the number 500 scrawled on it with a blue marker. And he says he just knew with absolute faith that it was already his. And here's the punchline. The very next day, he wins second place in his work lottery pool. The prize? 20 pounds. He opens the envelope, and there it is, a 20-pound note with the number 500 written on it in blue marker. I mean, come on. It's these stories, the ones with these almost impossible specific details, that make this whole thing so fascinating. But it also makes you ask the big question, why on earth would any of this actually work? To even begin to find an explanation, we have to dig back into the archives. Not to some new age blog, but to a really fascinating mental fitness movement from the late 1960s. It offers this vintage theory that seems to fit this modern phenomenon perfectly. The term they used was psychoharmonics. It was coined way back in 1968, and it's basically the study of how our minds act like little radio transmitters. The theory is that our thoughts, our attitudes, our beliefs, They're all sending out these vibrational frequencies. And these frequencies don't just stay inside our heads, they actually go out and influence the physical world around us. So here's the key difference, right? Traditional psychology often looks backward. It looks to your past, to your childhood, to figure out why you are the way you are. Psychoharmonics, on the other hand, is completely focused on the present moment. It's not about analyzing why you feel a certain way. It's about actively changing your vibrational frequency right now to match a reality you'd rather be living. This quote just sums up the entire philosophy perfectly. According to this theory, the universe doesn't just hand you what you want, like a cosmic vending machine. No, it gives you what you are. It reflects back the frequency that you're broadcasting. So if you're broadcasting a frequency of debt and worry, you get more situations that make you feel that way. The whole game is to get your inner self into harmony with your desire. And this is where it gets really interesting. One of the main techniques from psychoharmonics is something called the say and sing method. The idea is that you can actually program your subconscious mind by turning your affirmations into a little tune. The melody and the rhythm are supposed to bypass your logical, critical brain and embed that new reality deep into your being, literally harmonizing you with your goal. Now, if you think that sounds a little out there, well, think about this. The theory points to a real-world example: Muhammad Ali. From a psychoharmonics perspective, Ali wasn't just a trash-talking poet. He was a master practitioner. Those famous rhymes, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, they weren't just clever boasts. They were rhythmic, emotional, public declarations of a reality he was literally creating in real time. When he said, "I am the greatest," I said that even before I knew I was, he was performing a powerful act of psychoharmonic programming on himself and on the world. So, after looking at this three-step blueprint and this old-school theory of psychoharmonics, what does it all mean? What do these stories really tell us about ourselves? Let's zoom out for the big picture. You know, when you actually read the details of these stories, you realize that so many of them come from a place of real struggle. We're talking about people facing mountains of debt, serious illness, family problems, just deep despair. And this system, this formula, it offers them something incredibly powerful. It gives them a narrative of control. In a world that can feel so chaotic and random, it provides a sense of agency. And maybe most importantly, it gives them hope, which really leaves us with one final massive question to chew on. Are these thousands of stories from all over the world actual proof? Proof of some hidden, universal law of vibration that we're only just starting to grasp? Or are they something else? Are they simply a powerful testament to what the human mind is capable of when it finds an unwavering focus, a clear target, and a profound reason to believe? Maybe the truth isn't one or the other. Maybe it's somewhere in between.